I started playing wheelchair basketball in 2013, pretty soon after I got out of the hospital. Right after I got disabled, my recreational therapist was actually the head coach for the junior wheelchair basketball program in Portland, and she was like, "Hey, I heard that you used to be a basketball player, you should come play with us." So my mom convinced me to go, and I went to one practice, and it was awesome. It was like bumper cars, and we just run into each other, and I instantly loved it. So that's kind of how I started playing, and a love for it just started growing inside of me. I'm like, ooh, this is kind of fun, and I might be able to actually be pretty good at this. So I played 6 years of able-bodied basketball beforehand. I got disabled, and then the transition was definitely pretty hard because in able-bodied basketball, you can have your dribble, and then you can take a dribble, and then once you pick the ball up, you can't move again, and you gotta have to like pass it or shoot it or something. And in wheelchair basketball, you can. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be awesome. But then I learned that people can stop your chairs and hold you where you can't move, and I'm like, ooh, this is kind of difficult. So it's just a learning curve. I saw a lot of different areas like that were easy and that were hard, but just like trying a new thing in life, like, you just gotta figure it out, learn from the best, and just work hard to get better. For me personally, I am a very competitive person. I always want to be the best person that I can be, and I want to beat everybody around me. And wheelchair basketball has filled that competitive nature inside of me. Another big thing it's done for me, it has helped me mentally just stay engaged, and like after I got disabled, I was like, oh, what is there, like life just seemed hard all of a sudden because I couldn't play sports and I just was feeling down. And then once I learned about wheelchair basketball, it kind of brought me out of this, and as soon as I hopped into a basketball chair, I felt agile, I felt fast again. I'm like, all right, this is beautiful, and that just drove me to want to play it. After I got disabled and I played junior wheelchair basketball for about 3 years, I was recruited heavily to go to college. And before I went to college, I was told by some people like, hey, so this is your classification, you are 2.5. Now what you need to do is, the Rio Paralympics are coming up. I want you to go find someone in your class, another 2.5, and I want you to watch that person and learn that person. I'm like, ooh, okay, all right. So I started watching Christina Schwab and Becca Murray, and I'm like, all right, let's see if I can get that defense down, and if I can get that shooting down, that I might be able to make the national team one day. So I've been training at Whitewater for a year, freshman year of college. I was 17 years old, and I got that invite email on Christmas to come and be like, hey, you've been invited to come try out for the 2017 World Qualifier in, or was it Colombia? And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So a month later, me and I think like 32 other people, we came to this camp, and we were all trying out, and I had never been at a USA camp before. This was like my first year in college, my first year at any kind of USA thing, and I was like, all right, just do your best, try your hardest, push hard, and we'll see where this takes you. And I was blessed enough to make the team. I'd be so excited to call myself a Paralympian. Like, it's so close. I feel like after last year when the whole coronavirus happened and like Tokyo got moved back a year, I'm like, oh, that's one more year I can't call myself a Paralympian. But soon enough, and it kind of just motivated me to work harder. Like, there's no way I'm going to let this opportunity pass by without being at my best, being there and being ready. Training with the whole coronavirus going on has definitely been a speed bump. Let's call it a speed bump, because it's there and it's kind of annoying, not gonna lie, but you still got to go over it. Like, Tokyo is still gonna happen no matter what. And I think as a team, we collectively came together and be like, all right, we might not be able to bring it together as a team on the court right now, but we each can make each other individually better. We can still reach out to each other and text. And I made it a goal for myself, like, okay, you know what? There's no courts available and there's no hoop to shoot at. I'm gonna get inside my house and I'm gonna work on form shooting. I'm gonna work on doing all like just little exercises to make me better and faster and stronger. I'm gonna work on my mental game. All these different options that if you didn't go and just look for them, you would just completely pass them by. And I think as a team, we were able to stay really connected throughout the whole COVID-19 situation before we were able to train together, and that is why we are so strong right now. So I personally am super thankful for having Toyota as a sponsor because, number one, they are putting out commercials with like Paralympic athletes and they're promoting the Paralympics. And in years past, like before 2016, when I was a kid, I really didn't see a whole lot about the Paralympics on the TV. It was like, ooh, the Olympics are here and the Olympians are here. And I was like, and I didn't even know the Paralympics existed before I was paralyzed. So it's really cool to see that they're including athletes with disabilities in their commercials and on television and publicizing it to the world. Another reason why I'm really appreciative of Toyota is they will give us cars on these trips and to like go out and do excursions. Like we just went and saw Niagara Falls as a team, and that gave us a much needed break, but it also made me feel like a bunch of like queens in cars because they were so nice.